we go.
Now we still actually have like 5 minutes, right?
Oh yeah, you got 7 minutes, 7.5 minutes.
Do you have a good birthday?
I did. It was good. Kids made me a little handmade banner that said "Happy Birthday, Dad," and got me a puzzle and a little game. It was cute.
Nice. I see the followers and views are slowly kicking up.
Yep, very slowly. Starting to build up a brand. This music is a little bit sleepy.
What music?
The one that I'm playing over the stream.
Looking forward to that long weekend we got coming up.
Oh man, it's gonna be so great.
Taking Friday off too to make it a 4-day weekend.
Oh, nice. Yeah, my team's on another death march, so every week the stress level just ramps up farther.
Yeah, I feel that we got a October 1 launch on a project that was thrust on us 2 weeks ago. And it's the kind that involves a third-party vendor. You know what that's like.
Oh yeah, been there, done that. It never does quite what you want.
No, they use XML.
Oh jeez.
It's like their dashboard's like straight bootstrap, like didn't change a thing, and I'm like, oh no.
Oh boy. Hey Speedy.
Hello.
There he is.
Lineagen, remind me sometime to tell you my story about how I actually used XSLT in a build process.
What? Yeah.
By
well,
choice.
Okay. There's a story there.
Yeah. It was actually pretty cool. I'm pretty proud of that, but it was crazy. How's everyone doing?
Tired, but good.
Nice. Well, we're live on the internet. I've got a little countdown and music going. Pretty nifty, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, that's stepping up. Next up, we need Roll20 sponsoring it.
We may have a few more weeks to wait on that one.
Just a few more followers.
Yes,
We'll
just a
get
few.
D&D Beyond first, then we'll get Roll20.
Yeah, maybe we can pit them against each other and see.
Bidding war.
Yeah, exactly. Oh.
Time to go green.
2 minutes and 20 seconds.
I was gonna say it's hard to get everything together in an hour when I get home at 8.
Yeah, I hear that.
That and get the snuggles in with the baby.
Oh, you know what I did realize? Our audio is going through live.
Well, you know.
Oh well.
Yeah. I'll have to think about if there's a way to get around that.
Yeah, turn off desktop on OBS. Click that to.
Yeah, but then the
sound
music
off.
then the music won't go through.
Oh, you don't have the music separate?
I don't really have a good way of doing the music separate.
I use a separate sound file, load it as a separate item.
Is it hand banana? Or what is it called? Banana voice meter. That's what it's called. Hand
Oh,
banana
yeah.
Smokwitinographers.
I've used it before. It's really nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Alright, well, let's kill this music. Hello, everyone. And now, if you've got the stream up, this is going to be very dramatic. Ready?
Fancy.
I like that. I'm easily amused. What can I say?
It's like the curtain being lifted.
Exactly. That's what I was going for. Although I guess if that was the case, I should wipe it the other direction, right?
Not necessarily.
It's a magical curtain.
There you go.
Overture, curtain lights.
We
All
started
right.
session.
Well, welcome everyone to our session 2 of our Rise of the Runelords campaign, 5th edition version. I'm excited to get back in. We had a busy time last week. For anyone in the chat who is anyone watching who is not familiar, we are all on a Discord server called Fellowship of the Tables, and if you are interested at any point, you can in the chat you can type !Discord, and the friendly bot will now tell you where to find us on that Discord. There are lots of fun games going on there every week. Certainly more competent GMs than myself. Doesn't take much. Lots of systems, lots of cool, friendly people. So come on over and check us out. Enough of the paid advertisement. So, as usual, I like to start my sessions off, and I think this time I'm going to roll a d3 since Kale was absent for a good chunk of last session. But I'm going to roll a d3 and see who is lucky enough. And it's coming up Zarxus again. I think you did the last one too.
I think so.
Well, lucky you. But why don't you give us a recap of what happened last week?
All right. Well, we hit the road after our battle with the giant the day before, and we made it to the lovely town of Sandpoint. Spent a few moments cleaning up, as they had a mirror that said see you as we see you. And then we stayed at the Rusty Dragon Inn, where we were told about by our friend Amiko that the next day was going to have a big festival for opening a new cathedral or church shrine, and we went. And TikTok, I believe, participated in it was an archery contest, right?
Yeah,
I think.
TikTok and Othniel both did.
Yes.
TikTok and I.
And then Othniel, you also rung the bell on the hammer game.
I believe I did it.
Kale tried to, excuse me, tried to steal some items, but the game runners were kind of wise up to him. Xarxus participated in a pie eating contest and lost to a teenager. It was a good pie, but maybe not in 5-pound increments. And then we made it to the stage, this platform they had, and these goblins popped up from the carts and began hurling various produce at us, and which we promptly handled them. And I think that's where we left off.
Yeah, and so we're picking up just as quiet as kind of settled after you had a fight with some goblins who were getting into the fireworks that were intended for later in the evening. Quiet has kind of descended upon the square as you're looking around, and it seems that most of the fighting has died down. The square is conspicuously empty, as the square is where the goblins first showed up, and so everyone has kind of fled. However, as you take a moment to yourselves, you very quickly hear some another cry for help off to the north of you, and some barking and snarling from that direction.
Kale, are you making noise again?
Yes. Oh, are you talking about like, am I going to be muted for the entire time?
No, they
No.
were barking and
Oh, they're barking. I'm not. I
to
don't bark. How
a
dare you?
lizard man. Well, maybe it's a furry animal sound.
Can I even bark? I don't think I can bark.
I mean, I guess anybody
I
can
don't like
bark. It's a question of how convincing it would be.
Probably not very
But-
convincing.
Yeah.
I'm like the opposite
Well-
of a thing that barks.
While they debate that, Othniel's going to look to the north to see if he can see what's going on.
I was gonna say, I think TikTok would start to turn in that direction to see what's going on.
Okay. So you can't really see what's going on yet. You're gonna have to start heading in that direction. So just to give
Yeah,
you
TikTok would until
context,
you saw something.
Oh, map.
Yeah. So you all are in this cathedral, or in this square by the cathedral. It sounds like the sounds are coming from a pretty good distance away, up in this direction.
Okay.
Like probably a couple
Well,
hundred
I'll-
feet.
I'm going to start heading that direction, thinking that maybe some dogs have maybe treed a couple more of those goblins.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see what's going on. Let's go see what's going on.
Okay, so you all head off in that direction, and as you get closer, you see it appears that so I think Othniel and TikTok are kind of leading the charge here. You see yet another chaotic scene, as it appears that there's a noble person here who has kind of been who is backed up against the northern gate of Sandpoint, just kind of in a panic, and there's a dog here who is fighting with a goblin on another dog, and just as you all come running up, the goblin that is riding a dog has this great big cleaver in his hand, and he manages to come down and slice across the neck of the dog that they were fighting with, killing it in the process. And the two goblins over here kind of cheer, and the three of them turn towards the noble looking man up here by the gate, and they haven't noticed you yet. They're all focused on this noble person. You also see a fourth goblin over here, kind of chanting, and
I think TikTok immediately, as soon as that other dog went down in Goblin, because he has that language, would yell, "That's not nice. Don't hurt dogs."
nice.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get their attention.
Okay. So yeah, the goblins all definitely turn in your direction. Let's go ahead and get some initiative rolls on the board here.
All right.
Explain to me again how to do it so that it shows up in the counter already.
So click on your icon first, and then open up your character sheet and click on initiative.
It worked.
Oh, I should put my all my stuff back. Oh wait, have we had a any rests?
No, this is
think so.
this is just minutes after the last fight.
Oh,
Okay, that did not work
did
again.
I get
for me.
healed,
Mm,
or do I have it in?
no, nobody's.
I think I had it in D&D Beyond. Actually, I think I'm fine. Okay.
So
I don't think I got
agree.
hit last
It didn't
fight
work for me.
much.
And
Anything.
okay. So,
Okay. I think I was tracking it in.
Othniel.
Okay.
TikTok is at 10. Darkness is at 15. Got some duplicates in here. I forgot to clear it first.
Oof. Okay.
Okay. Gabos are at 13. Alright. So, Kale, you are up first.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to be where the dog is not.
I imagine so.
Yeah. Oh, can I just run up to this one over here then?
Yeah, go
And
for it.
attack? Okay. Oop. And I will go with my dagger because that's more effective than my cantrips.
Okay. Uh, 20 will certainly be effective.
Hey.
Yeah, so you one-shot this goblin, if you want to describe that.
Well, that changes my plans.
I just bound on over and pounce and slash his throat then.
All right. Nice.
Make quick work of it.
Okay. Othniel, you're up.
Well, since he got the one that I was initially going to go after, I'm just going to go straight over here and go at this guy, pull out my war hammer, the holy hammer of Habakkuk, and give him a little piece of spiritual education.
Nice. Go for it.
Does a 16 hit?
16 hits. You're swinging at
Okay.
the goblin, not the mount, right?
At the goblin,
Yeah.
yes. 11 points of damage.
I forgot my cap of celebration here. There you go.
Quite festive.
Yes, you one shot that one as well. Very nice. The dog that he's mounted turns and
Don't worry, Mutt, you're next.
Xarxus.
Xarxus is pretty pissed off about the dog situation, so he's gonna run up over here. He sees this guy right there. He just kind of like breathes into his hands a little bit. A little puff of smoke comes out. And he throws a firebolt at him.
Okay.
Let's see, did I ever fix this? Let's find out. Nope, sure didn't. Oof.
An 8. That is not going to hit. He saw you coming and kind of ducked down, and it went over his head and splashed into the tower over here. And it is now the goblin's turn. And so I think that this guy who you just shot at, Xarxus, is going to come over and he has a little something to talk to you about with his very sharp blade. So, let's see what he does here.
Imagine Xarxus would do Dragonborn come hither.
Nice. Little Morpheus action. Well, it must have intimidated him because he got a 7. So Scabo is going to run up to TikTok and try his luck there. Yeah. And the string on my hat broke, and so I'm having to actually try to balance it. Kind of tricky.
The hat of greater celebration is now just a hat of minor celebration,
yes,
huh?
Exactly. However, it gave me enough luck that I got a 21 to hit TikTok.
That will hit.
So we take 4 points of damage. And then this wolf heard Othniel say that he's next and didn't appreciate that, so he's gonna take a bite at Othniel. And he's gonna get a 20 to hit.
Oh, that will hit.
And he's gonna do 6 points of damage.
Ouch.
So he grabs you and yanks a chunk of skin off of your arm. Okay. And TikTok, you finally get a turn. You're muted.
Okay, so I'm gonna move where I did.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna attack the one that attacked me with my warhammer.
Okay.
And since we have him flanked, does that give us advantage?
Sure. 20 will hit. And so yeah, you one shot him. You would like to describe that?
I probably just said, I said you're not being nice in Goblin again, and probably just hit him with my hammer like I'm scolding a dog.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Okay, Kale.
All right. We went for this fast. All right. Let's see. Oh, can I get a flank on this guy? I think I can.
You'd have to get to this square, I think.
Oh, right behind him?
Yeah.
I can make it.
Yeah. Yep.
I have to jump over a corpse, but that's fine.
Yeah. Not a problem.
Nah. Okay. All right. Gonna run in with my dagger,
Go for
doing
it.
the thing, and I've got advantage.
Yes.
Nice.
22 will hit. You certainly didn't even need that advantage. Not quite enough to kill him, however.
Oh.
But you got a good blow in. You come running around and sink your dagger into the goblin's back, and he kind of arches, but keeps his hat of celebration on. And Othniel, it is your turn.
All right, I got my hammer in hand. I got the rider. Let's go ahead and get the ride. It's time for me to get rid of you, you mange mutt. And let's give Habakkuk another swing.
Ooh.
Oh, I don't think that's gonna do it.
Yeah, I think that the dog still got your arm in his teeth, and you're having a hard time getting it loose to get a good swing in.
You certainly aren't man's best friend, that's for sure.
All right, Xarxis, you are up.
All right, so seeing Kel gonna get behind and hit this guy, I'm going to bring my quarterstaff down upon him.
Okay. 15 just hits. And 2 points is enough to finish him off. So you bring it down on his head, and there's just this real loud crack sound. And the goblin's eyes just roll up in his head, and he collapses.
Yes.
The dog is going to take another bite at Othniel. But he's only going to get a 6. So
That's gonna miss.
yeah, Othniel manages to shove him off and get free. And TikTok.
I guess I'm going to turn my attention to the dog. I will move. It's kind of hard to flank him when he's not in an actual spot.
If you go to here, you'll flank him.
And then, I'll just say, you're being a bad dog.
A 13 just hits him.
Say, because it'd be 15 is advantage.
Sorry, what was that?
It would have been the 15 because it's advantage anyway.
Yeah, okay. Oh, there goes the hat of celebration. All right, enough of that. So yeah, he takes 3 points of damage. Okay, Kale, you're up again.
All right. I guess I have to join in on beating on this dog now. Which direction is it facing right now?
It is
Facing towards me.
Yeah, it's going after Othniel.
This away. All right. I'll just run up and this is not flanking, right?
No.
From the side.
No.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go up and give a stabby anyway.
14 hits. But does not quite finish him off.
Oh. I'm like hesitating because I don't want to touch the dog.
Yeah. But Othniel has no such hesitation.
Nope. I said down, boy.
9.
Well, am I flanking with
Oh,
TikTok?
yes, you are. So yeah, that
21.
that will finish him off.
I said down, you mangy mutt.
Yeah, and you just whack, bring him, just splatter him across the ground. Yeah, and we are out of combat. I'll
I
mark him.
think TikTok's gonna see that Orthiel's wounded and probably walk up and heal him.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Oh, we did it.
Woo.
Who's the lady over there?
Well, it's not a lady. It is a gentleman. That's just the commoner pick. But and he does come over and approach you all, and he is wearing.
Sorry, not much.
Hey, points is points.
Yeah, he is wearing a fine looking overcoat with gold buttons and trim, and very 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 finely dressed. And he approaches the four of you, and he says, well fought. That was most impressive.
We do our best, sir. Are you okay?
He kind of pats himself down a little bit. I believe I'm all in one piece, thanks to you all. I was just arriving in town. What is going on here?
I don't know.
Well, they appeared to be having this Swallowtail festival, and I guess the city had some uninvited guests.
Well, that's most disturbing. I've been here to Sandpoint many times. I've never seen anything like this.
It was the first time for everything.
So goblins don't just do this?
And if we're lucky, we've cleaned out enough, maybe you won't see it again for a while.
Speedy, what did you say?
Oh, goblins aren't normally like this?
He says, well, I can't say what goblins are normally like. The town's not usually full of them. Well,
Was this your dog?
It was. I'm afraid so.
I'm sorry. That was supposed to be a D8 plus my spell casting ability modifier.
Yeah, so it would be plus your wisdom.
So what's your wisdom bonus?
So you're actually going to have 4.
Okay, cool. Almost back to full.
Yeah, and so he, the gentleman kind of kneels down next to the dog and just kind of runs his hand over the dog's back for a minute. Well, Nipper was a good dog. Well, I'll miss him. But
Well,
better him than me, I suppose.
Orthel, can you do something for the dog?
Sorry, who are you asking?
Orthel,
Oh,
if he
Othniel?
could do something for the Othniel.
don't know if I don't know if Lana if how dead is the dog?
Yeah, the dog is dead, unfortunately.
Okay. So laying on hands or healing hands to bring him up
No.
to with any hit points would not do anything
No.
because that'd be the best I could do.
Yeah, he's unfortunately bled out.
Well, perhaps we can escort you to wherever you are going. We have no idea if there's any more of these creatures.
Well, that would be much appreciated. Aldern's the name. Aldern Foxglove. And he kind of holds out a hand to whichever of you.
Okay. I'm gonna be horrible here, real quick. Um, as he's shaking my hand, if he's wearing a watch, can I steal it?
A watch?
Yeah, like shake with both hands and take the watch.
He's not wearing a
Bracelet.
watch.
Okay.
Um,
I'll look for other opportunities to be horrible then.
you could, I
I
mean,
could
you
just
could,
pickpocket him.
yeah, you could see if, you could try to take something off his belt, maybe.
Maybe.
He definitely would have a coin pouch on his belt.
Oh, he's gonna notice that though. I'm trying not to be super horrible because I feel like he's gonna. Because I know we're in a mostly good party, but
Are you
Mostly.
actually
most
evil?
no, I'm like neutral at best. At worst, I guess.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait until I see something shiny.
So he says, usually when I come to town, I stay at a little place called the Rusty Dragon. I was planning on heading there.
Oh, we know where that place is.
Yes, we've met the caretaker, Amelia.
I think you're referring to a Mako.
That would be a
Yes,
Mako.
that is what I said.
All right. So let's switch back to the Sandpoint map then. And you all, so that all took place up here. But as you all make your way through town, yeah, the fighting has died down. It's everything seems to be quiet now. People are, they're definitely a lot of people are in shock. There are, um, there are wounded. There are a few dead. Not a whole lot. It seems like these goblins were not super well organized. They were just kind of um, running all over the place and having fun more than anything.
Would this strike us as particularly brazen of the goblins?
Make a history check. 11. I mean, you're not sure about this particular area. It seems brazen, like for them to just come into, a guarded town of people. But I mean, it could, maybe this town has particularly a bad time with goblins. You're not sure. um, yeah. So you all make your way down through town. So you're headed the right window. You head back through the town square. And down High Street, down to Market, and the Rusty Dragon is down here. So would you, like TikTok and Othniel, I guess this would be directed at you, would you be stopping to kind of heal people along the way, or are you more focused right now on getting Aldern to where he's going?
Well, TikTok's out of healing, so
I'd be on the lookout for anyone.
I might administer like first aid types, use my medicine to check on people, but I wouldn't be able to do any more than that.
Okay. Othniel, what were you saying?
If I see anyone that's down and unconscious, I might be able to do a healing hand for 1 hit point, or lay on the hand for a hit point to help bring them conscious or stable along the way.
Okay. Yeah,
I only have a total of 6 points that I can divide out for any long rest, so I want to make sure that I have enough for everybody as we're walking. As many as I can.
Yeah, you do come across a woman who is she looks like she took cover kind of partly behind a barrel, but there's a little boy standing over her, and she is lying unconscious. You see a nasty gash on her side, and the little boy is kind of standing over her, kind of pushing on her arm, going, "Mama, Mama." He's only about 2 or 3.
Is this your mama?
He kind of shrinks back from you a little bit.
It's okay. I won't hurt. I'll hold my hands up so he sees nothing's in them. I won't hurt you. Is this your mama?
Kind of, his eyes are real big. He kind of,
May I help her? I reach out and I will do healing hands for 1 to give her restoration of 1 hit point to stabilize her.
okay. Yeah, and so she kind of startles awake and immediately grabs her side where the wound is, and it's certainly the healing helped to close it somewhat, but she grabs that and then immediately looks around for her son, who runs over to her and kind of jumps on her practically.
He's right here, ma'am. He's okay.
She kind of looks up at you. "Oh, thank you. What? She's just kind of very confused and seems pretty out of it.
I think maybe she needs to go to the temple where she can get more attention.
You guys go on ahead. I'm going to help her and her little one get to the temple. I'll meet you there at the Rusted Dragon.
I will come with you. I want to go to this temple anyways.
Okay, so Zarxus and Kale are continuing the escort of Aldern to the Rusty Dragon, and the other two are splitting off
Yes.
and taking this woman. Yeah, she's got a hand. She's holding her little son's hand in hers and not letting go. But she's definitely like stumbling along. We'll probably
Could
lean
TikTok
on.
pick her up?
You could. Um, she would probably have a hard time holding on to her son if you did.
Pretty sure TikTok could probably carry both of them.
Oh,
I can, for
yeah.
terms of encumbrance, I can carry things
Or if my little
for
guy
a size
wants,
large.
he can ride on my shoulders as you help with his mama. If
Yeah.
you'd like.
How would you all propose this?
If the boy is already comfortable with Ortho, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna keep saying your name wrong.
Don't worry about it.
But if the boy's already comfortable with him, maybe he should carry the boy and let me help him.
At the moment,
Hey,
he still seems a little shy.
little one, we're gonna help your mama get to some people who can help her feel even better. Well, so while we go, would you like a piggyback ride from me while we go?
No.
No. All right. You just want to stay here so you can be right right up close to her.
I wanna go with Mama.
Well, you will. We're all gonna go to the same place.
Okay.
I was just gonna give you a piggyback ride so you wouldn't have to walk so much.
Yeah, he seems really, really uncertain.
All right, that's all right. You tell you what. We're going to the temple. Why don't you hold my hand so that way you can help me get there so I don't get lost?
Okay.
You can do that?
Okay.
Okay. Here, help me get to the temple, okay?
I would look at the mother and say, "May I, ma'am?" and kind of crouch down and almost like creating a seat for her in my arms for her to sit down.
Okay. Thank you. Jefferson. And she kind of, as she's moving into your arms, she, she's grabbing onto her son's other hand too.
Orthel, just put him on my shoulders. He can be right next to his mother then.
All right. Well, yeah, we don't need to belabor it. You all managed to convey them to the temple, and as you enter the temple, description of that place. It's coming up. 1 second. That's not what I do. Yeah, the downside of having a 400 plus page adventure is that sometimes it takes a minute to find things.
Oops. Understandable.
Well, that's all right.
Okay. Sandpoint Cathedral. Yeah, so this is an enormous structure, very impressive in its design. You you enter kind of the front door, which would be this area here, right off of the square. And I mean, immediately you find that there's sort of a triage area set up where a few acolytes are helping people, mainly just making them comfortable at this point. They've all burned their healing, but they're one of them is standing by the door and keeping watch for more goblins. And he sees the two of you approaching with the woman and the boy in tow, and he kind of waves for you to come in, as he's frantically looking behind you for more goblins. Please, here, get them inside. Thank you.
Thanks. Where do you want us to lead them?
He just kind of gestures back into the lobby, and he's kind of not taking his eyes off of the square and where other people are. You come in, and there are a number of people just kind of sitting or huddled up, and some of them are clearly in shock or tears on their faces. But you find a spot to where you can set this woman, and one of the acolytes who's tending to an older man comes over, and he says, "Thank you for helping them. Hopefully Father Xantus will be back soon. He went off to see if there were other people who needed more help." And the woman, who has somewhat come to her senses by this point, still kind of holding the gash in her side, she says, I'll be all right for a few minutes here. And she just kind of pulls Jefferson closer to her. The acolyte turns to you, TikTok and Othniel, and says, "Are you? I don't recognize you. Are you new to town?"
Yeah, we just arrived here last night, in fact, and we're here help enjoying the festival. And when we saw the uninvited guests who showed up, we helped give some of them, as we say, the left foot of fellowship.
Nice. She says, "Well, that's much appreciated. We're very fortunate that you were here."
Is this something that happens often, or did they just take advantage of the festival to sneak in?
The acolyte says, I mean, we get a goblin or two here or there. Sometimes they raid the beach." She kind of gestures toward the west. Doesn't really elaborate, but sometimes they raid the beach, but never in force like this. Never seen anything like this.
Well, I know we faced TikTok, what was it, about 10 or 11 of them, something like that. 7 in the square out there, and the rest of them were out by the gate over there to the north.
It was 11
Yeah,
plus a dog.
Yeah, plus some sort of war dog thing that one of them was riding.
Yeah. The acolyte's eyes kind of go big as you say this. You must be accomplished warriors then.
Well, I'd say trained, not necessarily accomplished yet. I'm still in the beginning of my pilgrimage,
Well,
as they would say.
Sandpoint is. Okay.
But I appreciate it. Appreciate you saying.
Well, Sandpoint is certainly in your debt. We thank you. So meanwhile, at the Rusty Dragon, Zarxus and Kale, you arrive with Aldern in tow, and yeah, I think a similar scene. There's they've got the front door. There's a couple of kind of bigger guys who have stationed themselves right by the door there, and are there's someone peeking out the sort of front window to see who's coming up and making sure that it's, not goblins, and then the guys at the door are letting them in, and yeah, I think they let you in, and there are a number of people here again in shock, just kind of huddled together in clusters, and Ameko is running around from group to group, just kind of seeing if people need anything, just handing out ale and whatnot.
I'll ask one of the people standing guard if they've seen any more goblins about.
He this is a real big stocky guy. He says, ain't seen one run by for a little while. Not sure if they're completely gone.
I see. And then I would go and ask our friend Amiko if she needs a hand with anything, or helping anyone, or making any kind of preparations.
You go over to her just as she's got a mug of ale that she's handing to a gnomish looking figure. Actually, you recognize this gentleman. He's one of the ones. Is he a gnome or a halfling? Neither. He is a. Wait a minute. I'm looking at the wrong guy. No, he is a human man. who he's one of the ones that gave one of the speeches in Town Square this morning, talking about the Sandpoint Theater, and he's looking a little pale and frazzled, and he takes the ale from Ameko. She turns and sees you approaching. Xerxes, right?
Yes, it is Xerxes, amigo. Yeah,
So
I
close.
I was wondering if there was anyone that needs of any kind of aid or anything we can do after uh, the theatrics of those small creatures.
I don't really know what any of us can do at this point. I mean, just trying to help people keep calm and giving them a safe space right now. I think it's a morale question more than anything at the moment.
Yes, I can certainly do a number if I need to calm nerves and give a rousing speech. I'd also like to give a rousing speech to the captain of the guard. This was awfully sloppy.
Fair enough. Kale, what are you up to?
I am looking around. I'm kind of weirded out. I don't think I've ever been in like a super like dangerous situation
Mm-hmm.
such as this. Well, not with goblins and not when other people are also in danger. So I'm just kind of snooping around. I don't think I was around when you guys were in the tavern. I think I fucked off before then.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of just like looking around. If people have non-religious conversations, I probably will listen in.
Okay. Yeah, so this as you came up, this is this is a pretty large building. The most obvious thing when you approach the building is there's literally a big rusty dragon sitting on the rooftop. Not a real dragon, but an iron dragon. And clearly that's tied to the name.
Quite offensive.
Yeah, and as you come in, I mean it's pretty typical tavern. There are a number of tables around, a bar on the far wall, and off to the right you see a small bard's stage. Yeah, so I think that you'd see a human man with. Let me see if I can get you a picture of this guy.
Ooh, there's a picture. That means he's important.
If you knew how many people in town I have pictures of, you would not think that.
Oh,
If they have pictures, they have loot.
they do. I need the shinies.
This guy apparently does not have a picture.
There will be a pop quiz at the end of the stream.
Oh god, I should take notes. I actually should. Where's my notebook?
Yeah, so you see a human man with kind of short brown hair. He's got his arms kind of crossed, and he's just kind of pacing back and forth, talking to an older woman who's sitting at the table that he's pacing in front of. Just goblins.
Oh my god,
we
I'm gonna
should be
pace right
hunting-
behind him.
Okay. And he's just going on and on about goblins and how they are just a plague upon the lands, and every single stinking one of them should be eradicated, and just livid. He's just pacing back and forth. Yeah, and so you're gonna, so you go to kind of pace behind him for a minute, and he turns around to pace back the other direction, and kind of almost runs into you. What are you doing?
That, listening to your wonderful speech, mister.
Okay.
Do you got ideas on how to get rid of all the goblins?
Well, I mean, I've killed my fair share. I don't know how to get rid of them all at once. The things reproduce like rabbits.
Well, how do you kill rabbits?
He kind of pulls a little dagger out from his belt. One at a time, I guess, but I mean, we should be organizing more hunting parties, and I'm gonna have to speak to the sheriff after this, and we've grown way too complacent in Sandpoint.
You guys have lots of goblins fighting then?
I mean, they don't.
Bridges and you got a wall.
I mean, they're too cowardly to come into town, but we see one on occasion, and we got to be proactive. We can't just assume that if we don't see them that they're not around. We need to go hunt them down and find their caves and just exterminate them all.
I'm gonna look at the old woman and see what she's
She
what her expression is.
She looks like she's heard this a million times. She's just kind of sitting with, leaning on leaning her cheek on a fist, just kind of like, okay, Daverick, we've all heard the speech before. I mean, we can't all spend our time obsessing about goblins, and I mean, we've got lives to live too.
Yeah, Mr. Deverick, have any of your plans worked before anyway?
I mean, no, but that's because the town hasn't gotten behind me. If we actually worked together, I think we could do this.
Sure, mister.
Who are you anyway? You're not from Sandpoint. What do you care?
Why wouldn't I care? I mean, I'm in Sandpoint right now. There's goblins outside attacking.
Well, you just wait and see. I'll talk to the sheriff when this all blows over, and we'll see about these vermin.
Let me know when you get your trophy for your amazing goblin hands.
Meanwhile, back at the temple, Othniel and TikTok, I think, a little while goes by, and Father Xantus comes back, and this is another man that you saw giving a speech. Abstelar Xantus. He is, he's a cleric in town, and when he was speaking, it was clear from sort of the mood of the crowd. He seems to be well loved and respected in the town, and he comes back into the lobby area of the temple, and begins tending to people. He approaches the woman and the child, and kind of kneels down, and he looks up at the two of you and says, I don't believe I've met you. Are you injured?
We pretty much are fine. We just brought her in. We found her down, laid on hands to give her healing as best I could, and we brought her here so she could be looked after. She and her little one.
Very good. Well, thank you. He lays a hand on the woman's side, and oh, Twitch chat does not know how to roll dice for me. Gotta put that command in actual roll 20. Yeah, he lays a hand over the wound in her side, and there's a little glow, and you see her face kind of twist a little bit and then relax, and she oh, thank you, Father. I wasn't sure that I was going to survive this madness. And he nods. He says, what's her name? Sorry. I'm going to look up her name. A second. Her name is Emil. He says, it's okay, Emil. You're safe now. It's well, yeah, we've never seen anything quite like this, but Sandpoint will get through it. He looks over at the boy, and he says, Aaron, are you taking care of your mama? And he's still a little bit shy with the father, but he kind of gets a grin on his face, and yeah, and Father Xantus kind of tweaks his nose a little bit and says, "Good job." He turns back to you, Othniel, because you spoke up before, and he says, "Are you you're new to town?"
Yeah, me and my friends, we kind of just arrived here like last night and found out about the celebration and kind of joined in the revelry a little bit, and then helped take care of the uninvited guests when they showed up as best as we could.
Well, you are certainly an answer to prayer from Desna. We appreciate your help. He kind of sticks a hand out. Father Xantis.
Othniel, this is TikTok.
TikTok, thank you.
TikTok kind of bows, just kind of like nods and ducks his head lower, kind of almost like a shy little kid.
Okay. All right. Well, to step out of the role play a little bit, yeah, so I mean, I think that the town is slowly starting to recover. Yeah, the I think that Kale and Zarxis, after kind of the insanity blows over, word starts to spread of the four of you and the goblins that you killed, and people are very appreciative. Amiko offers you all free room and board for the evening again, if you would like to stay there. And Aldern, he says to you, Zarxis, well, once I'm settled in here, or in the next day or two, I would love to thank you properly for saving my life. He says, come find me again in a day or two, and dinner will be on me, and I might have a little proposal for how I might properly thank you.
That sounds awfully fine, Alfred. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, so what else would you guys like to do?
I think TikTok would make her way back to the Rusty Dragon, only because didn't speak up, but is a little hurt and in need of a rest.
Yeah, Othniel would be going back as well once looked like that the little one was calmed down and the mother was starting to do better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think as you move to leave, the Aaron, the little boy, kind of waves at you. Oh, my hand was off screen. He waves at you a little bit.
Yeah, I wave back at him as we leave.
Zarxis would be waiting for them to come and would have told the barkeep about a special drink called the Dragon's Breath that he likes to make for special occasions. Basically,
Really?
whiskey and cinnamon.
And would you be sharing this recipe?
Oh yeah, I suppose we could do that. Especially seeing as we're all in it together, you know.
You gonna sing for us, Speedy?
No. I do not have a singing voice.
Go for it.
I mean, everyone has a
I only
singing
know
voice.
that lyric anyway.
Yeah, and I think that so Ameko would be fascinated by this, and she would say, "Oh, I will definitely have to write this recipe down." And what did you say it's called?
The dragon's breath.
Dragon's breath. Sounds sounds quite exotic.
Yeah, you gotta have a certain constitution to imbibe much of it. It's a favorite drink from the dragon folk.
Nice. Okay. Um yeah, so I think that as you all you all gather back together, and I think a few hours go by and things seem to, get somewhat back to normal. Um
Can I loot goblins
uh
while we're waiting?
yeah, you wanna go off by yourself and just find some goblin bodies?
Yeah.
Okay. Um you know what? Just roll a flat d20 for me.
Okay.
One of my traditions as a GM is a lot of times I'll just have people roll a d20 to see, in general, how's your luck on this. So I think that you're looking around, having a hard time finding goblin bodies. You see like some bloody smears of where somebody used to be, but as you're looking around, um, eventually you figure out why as you see what appears to be one of the guards of the town is dragging a goblin west through town. Um, yeah, excuse me. It seems that they're collecting these goblin bodies, and so I mean, there's the one that the guy's dragging, but you haven't found any others.
I'll go for it. I've got
Okay,
no shame.
all right.
I can't be arrested for this, I don't think.
Um, okay,
Can I be?
so yeah, he's just got it by like one ankle, and he's kind of dragging it behind him. Go ahead and make a sleight of hands check.
Okay. That is 1d20 plus 6. That was a 13. I'm not very good at stealing things, apparently.
Let's see. Well, the good news is he's not very good at seeing things, so he got a 5 on his perception check.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
you see uh yeah, this goblin has a little pouch on his belt, and you quickly run up and snatch it off of the belt, and then just kind of dive off into the shadows. And yeah, there is what appears to be like a dead lizard in the pouch.
Oh, that's the best.
And 4 silver pieces. And a small, looks like a very small flask.
Oh. Is there anything in the flask?
You kind of pop the lid off, and there is what appears to be a small amount of very pungent smelling something in there.
Okay. This is something to ingest when I have a healer next to me. But I will be ingesting it
Okay.
later.
All right.
Okay, I'm keeping all of it,
Okay.
even the dead lizard. I'm into that.
No shaming here.
Yeah. I'm playing a cat. What else am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
I do want to see what they're doing with the bodies. Are they like burning them or something?
Okay. So you follow behind a little bit and over in this part of town.
Where are we? Oh, we're over here.
Yeah. You see they're making, it looks like they're making a pile of the goblins over, yeah, I think off to the side over here. At the moment they're just making a pile. Yeah.
Okay.
There's about maybe there's about 10 or so corpses there right now.
Okay. I think that's I mean, I might hang around a little bit to see what happens, but I'm not going to actively do anything.
Okay. You see Father Xantus, who sorry, not Father Xantus, Sheriff oh crap. Oh crap, what's his name?
Nottingham.
Not Nottingham.
Well, I wouldn't learn his name anyway.
Well, the sheriff that you heard give a speech.
Okay.
Actually, you were, yes. Good job, Sheriff Hemlock. You weren't with the party at that point. You may have heard it or not. But he was one of the ones that gave a speech. You see him kind of directing the guards, sending them off in different directions. He seems to be coordinating a search for more of the bodies of goblins. And eventually, yeah, I think that after they kind of pile them up there, temporarily, someone brings a cart and they start loading them up into a cart. By this point there's now probably 15 or 20 corpses, and they're loading them up onto this cart.
This seems very elaborate for body disposal.
Okay.
I don't know. So something about this feels really fishy. I don't know why. I'm gonna keep following this cart unless you really want me to rejoin the party.
No, do what you would like.
Okay. I'm gonna keep following the bodies.
Okay. So yeah, they load up the bodies onto this cart and they wheel the cart down to the beach over here. And indeed it does appear that they are setting a big bonfire and they're just gonna burn the bodies.
Oh, okay. I was suspicious for nothing. Okay. Alright, I'll go back to the inn then. I don't feel like harassing law enforcement right now.
Okay. Yeah, anything else in particular the rest of you want to be up to during this time?
I'll just be waiting for everyone to make it in before I retire for the evening.
I won't come in along with TikTok, and I'm probably not going to be feeling up to doing much of anything else other than eat, drink, and relax.
Yeah, I think TikTok would probably go straight to whatever room he was assigned for the night and just go into sleep mode.
Power off. Okay. All right. Well, you all wake up the following morning, and so yeah, you can go ahead and record your long rest to reset your spells and hit points and such.
Cool.
And you come down to another party breakfast, and as you sit down, Ameko has, I think by this point, she's kind of figured out some of what you guys like for food, and so she quickly brings out some plates of breakfast food, and she says, well, good morning. It's nice to see that you're up. Sheriff Hemlock was looking for you all.
Was he now?
Oh, that guy.
We do have some tips for him.
Um, she says, "Yeah, it seems that the town is has been talking about you all and your how many goblins you killed. How many goblins did you kill?"
I believe we figured out the head count was 11.
So enough.
She she nods. She says, "Yes, that certainly is enough. That although there were rumors going around that you had killed 20 or 30 of them all at once."
I mean, we could have.
She she kind of gives you the a look like one might give a small child, and kind of, I bet you could. She kind of tweaks your nose a little bit, just like Father Xantus did to the boy in the temple.
We're goblin hunters.
Kale just like leans back all the way, like, no.
Yeah, she would. I mean, yeah, she, if you lean back, she would kind of. Sorry.
No touching.
Um, she says, if you all wouldn't mind after breakfast going to see Sheriff Hemlock, it sounded like he could use your services.
I think we can look into that.
After we finish this fine meal you've provided us, of course.
She she gets a big grin on her face, and she says, "Well, I wouldn't have it any other way."
Kale, can you add this to our itinerary?
Yes. Definitely.
Think you can squeeze it in?
Maybe. We are very busy.
As we're playing with our breakfast bowls.
Yeah. I forgot how to spell itinerary. That's in character.
It's easy. You spell it TO-DO space LIST.
That's a better way to do it.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that instead.
So, you all make your way over, and Ameko tells you where the garrison is, and Kale, you would know from her description. That's the building where you saw them collecting the bodies last
Oh.
night. Unsurprisingly.
Okay, now it makes sense.
So you're gonna head over there after breakfast?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tic Tac would be pretty much ready as soon as everybody else was.
Okay. So you head over and you make your way inside, and you see Sheriff Hemlock there. The other three of you would definitely recognize him from the speech yesterday, and you see him talking to two of the guards. Seem to be having a very animated conversation as you walk in, and he immediately sees you and heads over, and you all must be the adventurers that everybody's talking about.
Yes, you must be Sheriff Harrington, but I have to say,
That's
if
Hemlock.
Finlock, yes, if if this had been the Dragon Course, you would have been flogged for that performance.
He crosses his arms, and
As you can see, he's our chief of diplomacy.
he says,
This camera's too small.
well, I suppose we deserve that. He says we. He kind of recovers himself for after a minute. He was taken aback a little bit, but he's trying not to show it. And he says, well, the town is talking about the four of you. You killed quite a few goblins, I understand.
Yes, we are competent. Yes.
Well, we certainly appreciate it. I wonder uh, if you might assist us with one more small issue.
And what kind of small issue would this be?
Well, it seems that goblins were up to something in particular last night. Apparently, this wasn't just fun and games for them. We're not entirely sure what it was, but there's
Not surprising.
a vault in our boneyard behind the cathedral, which was left open, apparently raided by the goblins or something. We're not sure what exactly they were up to. I was hoping that the four of you might come along and investigate it with me, seeing as you're apparently expert goblin hunters.
That is a wise
Oh
idea.
yeah, we are.
You might miss something otherwise.
I'm sure we can do our best to provide you assistance, sir.
Much appreciated. Well, let me show you. and he starts making his way toward the cathedral. As you all are walking, he says, "Where all are you from?"
Around.
I don't really
Good
call
question.
any place home per se, except for wherever there's a temple to Iomede. That's where I call home.
He
But
nods.
but any temple that is shining light on things will do in a pinch.
Yeah, I think TikTok would describe the temple and its location that he had spent the last 20 years at.
Did we decide that that was in Magnamar?
Know that we decided where it was at all.
Okay. Um. Okay, we'll skip past that for the moment.
Xarxus would be from, I don't know if there's a ashy dragon empire, but the closest thing to that.
Maybe the Cinderlands.
Yeah, there you go.
That sounds appropriate.
Sure, we'll go with that.
And I think I'll go ahead and hail from this Palin's Cove. That sounds nice and homey like.
Okay. So are you all headed somewhere in particular?
I came here to do research and to represent my temple with the new cathedral.
I required travel companions to help aid in my research and searching for lost antiquities.
I'm a researcher by heart as well, but right now I'm on my mission quest and I'm just waiting for Iomede to reveal to me specifically what it is. Until then, I am to work together with Xarxes, with my buddy Xarxes here.
He turns to you, Kale, and he says, "You're a quiet one."
I don't got answers for you, buddy. I'm sorry. I'm just here because TikTok's here. And also, I'm getting food. I don't have some big dreams. Researching sounds cool. But I don't know much, so every day is kind of researching for me.
He says, "That's fair enough. I mean, sometimes you don't need a big dream. Sometimes it is just about getting food from day to day."
Just make sure he's not dreaming about your coin purse.
I don't steal money.
Just Casio watches.
It's the principle of the thing.
Um,
Who is this Cassie Yo that you're all referring to? I've never heard of him before.
The
He's the
master
god
of
of
time.
time.
Ah, must be a deity that I've not been able to read up on yet.
Well, he
Very famous.
works.
He's very underground, actually. That's why I try to collect the watches, because they're so rare.
You
I
can't buy them
see.
at any old merchant store.
um, so Sheriff Hemlock says, "Well, um, we certainly appreciate your service here in Sandpoint, and I feel like it's done the town some good to talk about the big heroes in town and everything that they accomplished yesterday. It's in light of such an awful day, you all have been a bright spot, and that was much needed.
Yes, of course. We only did what was required, because there was no one else to do it.
So about this time, you all arrive at the cathedral, and as you enter in, Father Xantus is there just talking to some of the acolytes, and Sheriff Hemlock says, motions him over, and he joins you all. And Father Xantus says, these fine folk have agreed to go and investigate the boneyard with me. We'll let you know what we find. And Father Xantus turns to the four of you, and he says, to you, TikTok, he says, well, it seems that we're in your debt once again.
No debt. I'm sure I will learn as much as I can about how people work while here.
Well, we certainly appreciate your help. And so, whoa, what's happened? That was a bummer. Oh, my bookmarks just go away. 1 second. There it is. So Sheriff Hemlock takes you out through the back of the cathedral there, and you actually cross through this central open area, which, find the description, I will describe for you. Point Cathedral is yeah, so you cross through this open air courtyard, and you see a set of 7 standing stones, which surround a circular stone altar. And I think that you see several people at several of the standing stones, just sort of kneeling in prayer and obeisance to the various deities represented there. But Sheriff Hemlock just sort of seems to kind of ignore them, and takes you on a path around the outside of the courtyard area, unless you particularly would stop and do anything.
I'm one of the.
What was that?
Can I climb one of the standing stones? Just like hop up as we go past, hop down.
Sure. Make an acrobatics check.
All
I
right.
think TikTok would probably try to stop him if he caught him doing this.
If Othniel sees him, he's going to grab him by the tail and pull him down.
So.
All right. I'm gonna roll acrobatics. I'm gonna see if any of you can stop me.
Yeah, go ahead and roll acrobatics. Othniel,
Probably.
roll an athletics, and TikTok roll just a flat dexterity check, or roll initiative. See if you're fast enough to do anything.
Oh.
Only a 10.
Oh.
Yeah, none of you are able to grab him in time. And so yeah, I think that you kind of make your way kind of in a circle around the stone, climbing up to the top. You only get about you only get maybe like half of the way to the top before you kind of bounce back down on the other side with an 11. Wasn't particularly impressive.
But I did dodge 2 of my party members.
Yes, you did.
So I am proud of that. Also, I probably just defaced religious artifacts. So
yeah, I think that Sheriff Hemlock turns back and glares at you, and he says, "Please, this is a sacred place."
While we're
I'm just interacting with the whole religious vibe here.
As we're walking through, do I recognize any of the deities represented by these standing stones?
You do. There are the deities that are worshipped here are Abadar, Desna, Aristiel, Gazra, Sarenrae, and Shellen. I'll put the list in the chat. These are the gods that you recognize as being worshipped here. But I mean, it's clear that that faiths of all deities are represented. I mean, you see people just kind of generally milling around, and they don't necessarily seem to be all tied to any one particular deity. So, Father Xantus leads you out the back and down a path into out into the Sandpoint Boneyard. Um, the He brings the four of you to a 20-foot square stone structure that stands near the wall of the boneyard. So this would be like back in this area. It seems that this vault houses the remains of previous caretakers and priests and acolytes. And as you approach, you can see there's a big, heavy stone door, and it is hanging open about 2 feet. So it's not enough that you can see in unless you go right up to it. But it is definitely open enough that someone could squeeze through it. So Sheriff Hemlock kind of draws a sword, and how would you all like to approach this?
I'd pull out my dagger. Can I sneak on ahead and get like a better idea of what exactly we're looking at?
You want to peek in?
Yeah, I want to peek in.
Okay.
All of
What was that?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so it is dark in there. What do you have dark vision?
I do. I have
Okay.
dark vision up to 60 feet.
Okay. You see what appears to be a pile, like a discarded robe or something. Just maybe 10 feet or so from the actually about 5 feet or so from the door. And there is a casket which kind of is sitting in the back of this vault, and the top has been removed. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okay. Can I roll over 10 today? Maybe?
Nope.
Give me where a second. It's in that one.
Yeah, and so I think that you're very curious about the casket in the back, but you don't see anything else.
Okay. You guys want me to slip in? I want to barge in. Because I don't see anything.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and come in with you. I want to check things out too. Just in case I unhook my mace and have it in my hand, just in case.
Okay.
I do have dark vision up to 60 feet.
Okay. So
I'm trying to figure out where that would be located. Information for that.
where what?
Dark vision?
Yeah.
D&D Beyond, it's under features. It'll be listed under features and traits.
Yeah, I don't have D&D Beyond open.
I think you
because I
have
haven't
it.
run that much.
I think Zarxus is the only one.
I do
Yeah, I
not
think
have
he.
it.
Because I remember looking it up before. Check again.
So give me 1 second, because I thought I had a map set up for this, but I'm not seeing it.
Okay.
Offering. Ah, there it is.
Oh, you know. Turn a light in my room.
There we go. So, oh, this is not at all how I described it. Okay, well,
no.
we'll work with this. So, we put you all on the map here, and Othniel and Kale are out in front. That map is way down at the end. Hang on a second. On this way. Really, roll 20? How are you gonna play this? What did you even do with my map? Sure. Okay. 1 second. Right there. Drop it there. Thank you. Okay. So, the casket that you saw in the back is this one here. Just pretend that that it's hanging open. And I think as Othniel and Kale step inside, several skeletons jump out from the shadows. So let me grab those guys and dump them in. And we might actually stop there rather than get into this fight. Yeah. So yeah, Kale kind of pokes his head in and looks around, and then he and Othniel move into the vault here, and 4 skeletons come charging out of the shadows, and yeah, we will stop there and pick it up with a fight next week.
Oh, wonderful. So some undeads, and I don't have any smites yet.
Oh no.
I don't get those till level 2, I think.
Yeah, you got your friendly hammer.
Yeah, I can let old Habakkuk do the smiting for me.
There you go. All right, well, it was fun. So yeah, thanks for playing, and we'll pick up with some more girl fighting next week. We'll roll initiative right off the bat. Should be fun.
It's always fun, yeah.
Yeah, instead of a cold open, it'll be a hot open.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So is everybody good for next Tuesday?
Yep.
All good.
All right.
Should be, yeah.
We will plan on that then.
Oh yeah, get your hat back on.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Close out
Yeah,
in
happy birthday.
We
in
need
style.
the hat of greater celebration.
There you go. All right. Well, more mysteries abound. So we will dig into those more next week.
It's gonna be fun.
All right. Well,
Alrighty.
thanks for playing, everyone. We will
Thanks for GMing.
see you next week.
Yep. Thank
All
you,
right.
sir.
Bye.